Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I'm going to be doing an iPad third generation digitizer repair. You can see it shattered down, mostly down where the home button is. Um, and it's very difficult for me to film this, so I'm just going to be doing it in stages. Um, what I'm going to do to start it is obviously take the heat gun, go around the edges here. I start in small sections, so I'll probably start here in this corner. So I'll heat this up, and usually what I'll do is feel it. So if it becomes pretty hot, I know that it's ready to start removing. Um, it's just going to take a while for you to get the touch of the how hot to get it. A couple things you want to look out for though is let's see, on the new digitizer there's the cable. It plugs in, it folds over like this when you get it when you get off. There's the cable, it plugs in right here on this side, so when you're working your way down, just be careful of that cable. There's two, I can't remember which side it's on. I think the Wi-Fi is on just this side, and there's nothing really too bad to worry about on this side. But just be careful down here. And then, or up here there's nothing. And then right here there's the power button and the volume button. When you're going around, just be real careful. And remember to take your time and be patient, because it does take a little bit. And the last bit of advice is make sure it's shut down before you start working on it. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to pause it right here, and then I'll get back with you guys as I'm working. So one thing I forgot to point out is the corners. You can see that one's dinged. Pretty much all four of these corners have a little ding in them. And I'll just go ahead and show you what, that one's not too bad. I'll just go ahead and show you what I use to kind of bend those out after I get the glass off. Alright, so I was just going to point out that as you're working around, it's important to put these things in. I was almost going to say bad boys. I always say bad boys. But put these bad boys in here like this. These are the extra thick kind of guitar pick things that come with the parts you order. Over time you'll collect those. And then as you work your way around, you want to put those things in so it kind of prevents it from adhering back down. So real quickly, I was going to point out, as you're heating it up and moving along here, obviously make sure you don't go too hot. Like I said, you can touch it and kind of, it's hot to the touch. Try it. But I was going to point out too, as you're going, the heat's going to cool real quick. So, and that's okay. You don't want to go fast, but as you're going, if you feel resistance, like you're having to push really hard, you don't want to do that. So you want to just pause, take your tool out, feel it, heat it up again. It's just a very slow process, so just realize that. Okay, so what's up again? So I was going to point out the Wi-Fi antenna cable is on this side. There's nothing over here you can really damage. This is just a little plastic piece, that black thing. As you go up, actually this is the third generation iPad, so it's covered the cable right there for the power and the volume and the vibrator switch. It's all covered, so you can't really damage anything there. Watch out for these. They're like the 3G antennas. Give it the 3G capability. I don't think this one has the 4G. It's still an older model. So just be careful of that. And the next step I'm going to be doing is removing the 4 screws that hold the LCD on, and it's going to lift out like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I got the 4 screws out of the LCD. It's going to lift up like this. And you want to be careful that that ribbon doesn't stick down there as you're lifting it up. A very important lesson I've learned is always unplug the battery. First, make sure the iPad's shut down. The battery connects right here, right there. So you want to lift up that screw, and I just shove a guitar pick in there, because if the LCD is unplugged and you're working around and you accidentally hit the power button, it fries the backlight on the motherboard, and then you have to take out your motherboard and send it to a specialist to have him repair that. So I have my LCD up, the device is powered off. I'm going to unplug the battery and then start taking the LCD off. The LCD ribbon cable goes up here and plugs in right there. That just lifts up. You can see, come into focus. So you can see, well, no you can't. There we go. Alright, so let's see if you can see it. There we go. So you can see that there's this right here. You pop that up and then this cable slides out. Just like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the digitizer cable right there. But remember, first unplug the battery. Okay, so you can see how I did it. I took out the screw and I took out that screw too. It's the two screws that kind of hold the motherboard in, and just slid a guitar pick under there. It does have, like, you have to lift it up a little bit. So lift it up a little bit and then don't shove it in too hard, but just so that the battery can't make connection. And now we can take out our LCD, which I'll try to do while filming this. There's that. I've already taken this sticker off. That's why I don't film and do these iPads. At least it's really difficult to. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Alright, so I'm just going to remove this now. Okay, hey guys again. I was just going to show you, I went ahead and removed the digitizer cable. This one just, let's see, move that away. This one just, it sits in similar to the LCD, but it plugs in like that. Right there. And you lift up those two bars right here, 1 and 2, and just slide that out. And then it's adhered down a little bit, so you just have to remove the adhesive. Now I'm going to just bend out some of these corners. I'm just going to show you maybe 1 or 2, just how I do it. But I have a pair of these cutters, these wire cutters, that I just kind of use, and just kind of bend it out like so. It's aluminum, so it's very flexible, so you don't need to be hard on it, unless it's bent really bad. So you can see that's pretty straightened out. It's going to prevent your glass from sitting flat if you don't do this. And I know it's probably not going to be pretty, but the customer already damaged it, so it's not like you can really get it back to perfectly normal. So that one I'm going to bend out just a little bit more right there. So anyways, that's the next process, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the new gasket on, or whatever you want to call it. This housing I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna put my adhesive on first around here, and then stick this new one down like so. So I got the new plastic surrounding on there. It took a little finesse because the corners were bent, so it didn't want to seem to fit right because of the bent corners. So it just took a little bit of time to do that. I got the digitizer cable running in and plugged in, and I also have the LCD plugged in as well. So next I'm going to take out the guitar pick and put the battery back on. So. Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and do that without the camera on because it takes a little bit of hands to do that. And then I'm going to give it a quick test to make sure it works before I fully install it. So I got my device powered on. It looks like it's working good. The home button's a little sensitive. So I'm going to take it back apart and take off the home button and kind of bend it a little bit so that when you press it, it's got a little bit more give to it. I'm not sure really how to explain that other than that. But let's see if I can lift this up. Okay. So if you can see the home button right there, I'm just going to take that off and kind of bend it so there's more gap in between where you press it at. See right there, that gap? I'm going to bend it outward so you can press it a little bit more, but as far as it looks, it's good to go. It works, home button works, and sorry, you got to see my leg there, and it recognizes touch, so it's ready to be fully installed. Okay guys, so I got everything on. I've got this comes with adhesive too, so that's nice. You don't have to add any extra adhesive. I bent the home button, so now there's actually a press to it. It's shut off, so it's not going to work, but you can kind of hear it clicking, whereas before you just barely touched it and it would click, so that's good. This side, when I was putting it on, wanted to lift up, so I just kind of lifted it back up and stuck some super glue under there and pushed down. And then so everything's lined up, it's good, it's stuck down, and I'm just taking a heat gun over and doing that, and then heating it up like I would if I were to take it off, and then going over it with it after I heat it up and pushing it down, so that kind of melts the adhesive and it makes it stick down and seal better, so that you have less chance of the screen lifting up over time. So yeah, so this one was kind of tricky because of all the corners being mushed in so much that it didn't quite want to sit down flush, so it took a little bit more finesse than it normally would have. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, how to repair that. Just remember to be patient and take your time.